Thomas, it's up for grabs now. Thomas.
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira.
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it.
Fabulous solo goal by Thierry Henry.
Champions.
Whew, got there in the end. Good evening. This is Arsenal Bound. It's quickly becoming the Wednesday footy show. I mean, let's just go straight into it. I mean, firstly, let's get the intro. Not that they need much intro. Firstly, my captain Picard. Yeah, my man on the football. It's Lee Judges. Nice to see you, Lee. How you doing, mate?
How you doing? You all right? Just someone said, yeah, me. I've made sure the bathroom taps are all turned off and everything, so we're good to go today.
Wait, don't think I haven't noticed that new,
go.
Beard you got there, Lee. That new little beard.
Yeah, the beard. The beard.
Don't think I ain't seen that, Lee.
Lockdown beard, that is. That's a lockdown beard.
Yeah,
that's coming off at the weekend. Don't worry, you know what I mean?
Love that. And also, obviously, the man whose words aren't always sweet, but he's always a delight. Who writes this shit, man?
Turkish delight.
I'm good, lad. I'm good, man.
Yeah,
How are you?
got it. Yeah, you got it, Shaheen. Well done. Yeah, I'm good, bro. Thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for joining us. And then this is a new one, boys, by the way, yeah? Someone described this man as YouTube's Pablo Escobar. Yeah, don't ask me where it comes from. Something to do with his slick hairdo or something. I don't know what's going on there.
When I read it, I see it now as well. And now you reminded me.
No. I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about this. I didn't get it. At the time, I didn't get it. But afterwards, he explained to me what it was. And I thought, was he talking about me? I don't look like Pablo Escobar, but there we go. I don't know if that's a compliment or what, but there we go.
No, you clearly do.
Guys, 1 minute. You lot have all made me paranoid. I've just got to go and check my bathroom. I've got to go and do it.
Leave it out, Lee. Is he taking it?
You know what? It's the old school Gunners' fault. And Aslan. Because they're the ones that reminded him. Oh, here we go. Everyone's going in on this now.
Shaheen does look like Netflix Narcos. I told you, if you lot see me looking this way, it's because I've got my screen up this way, yeah? So everyone, bear with me. And obviously, hopefully, you guys are starting to know who I am. But look, guys, I mean, there's a lot to talk about today. And I want to thank everyone first for supporting us.
Oh, my God. Turkish, man.
Yes!
I don't look like this guy.
Yeah. All right, look at him.
Turkish, remember this today. I will come back I'll get you for this. One day that you were not even expecting this.
You're lucky you're not doing Movember, mate. Because if you was doing Movember, you'd be a dead ringer right now.
Man. Just leave that little one there.
You just need that little cash thing there. But
I really was not expecting this podcast to start off this way today.
Anyway, guys, listen, let's get straight into this, yeah? Firstly, I want to thank everyone for the mad support, by the way. 9.2k views. That's the highest we've had since we've started this. It's crazy. The support for this Wednesday show is killing it. And if you haven't already, please share, like, let everyone know. Let's get more loungers involved in this and put your notifications on, and let's just get this movement going, yeah? But look, let's go straight into this. So obviously we know what's coming up. We got Arsenal Leeds, yeah? So I thought we'd discuss that first. It's a crunch game coming up. It's an acid test and a big test for Arteta. Let's be honest here. He's like almost one game away from meltdowns on a regular, and we'll touch on that later on. But, I mean, he's got big test with Bielsa. Everyone talks about Bielsa as being this, brilliant coach and all that. But we are looking at a coach that goes like for like. He goes attack for attack. It's a bit like the Chuckle Brothers, me to you, to me to you. So, obviously, we're going to see some sort of, I think Leeds are going to come at us. The question I've got is, what sort of lineup are we looking at, lads? And what your preferred lineups? And secondly, what is he going to do? Is he going to take the handbrakes off for once and go toe-to-toe? Or is he going to continue with this? And I'm going to chuck this over to Lee first because of that new little Billy goat he's got. I've got to go first with Lee. So, Lee, talk to me, man. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think Willian's done him a favour, if I'll be honest, by going to Dubai this week. I think that's, I reckon he might have even bought his ticket. You know, so that will help. So I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a little bit more courageous. I'll tell you what, this Voldemort thing's got to stop, boys. I tell you, like, you know what I mean. Like, I don't mind the Johnny Sims one. I quite like the Johnny Sims one. I've been getting it. I've been getting the Voldemort one.
Don't like
what other one is? What's the bloke that does the game show thing? What's it called?
Crystal Maze.
Crystal Maze, getting all of that.
Keep the lookalikes coming, man. If you want to throw it at me,
get like, you know, John Joe Sylvie's another one in the house. I tell you, like, I've had enough of it. Like, I'm going to buy a wig for Christmas. I'm buying a wig for Christmas. You know what I mean? So it's going to be done. I think he's got to be adventurous. Yeah, that's it. Like, I'm happy to you know, have the old stick back on and everything. Like,
I'm with you, Lee. I'm with you.
So,
I'm with you.
So I need to get a bit of a tan and all, because that's what's doing it. It's not doing good. We're not being able to get on the old sunbeds. But anyway, that's another one, like, you know. So yeah, I think he's got to go. He's got to be very, very positive on Sunday. I think he's under pressure. And I think, if I'll be honest, boys, he's brought a little bit on himself, if I'll be honest, with the team selection all the time. You know, he keeps it's all right if you when he was winning, when he was successful, you know, playing a Aubameyang out on the left is all right. But I'll tell you what, I had a little theory today. I was thinking about the show, and what's really changed over these last few months. And mate, we was a really good side last season, and we've been not so good this season. I don't know if you want to chuck this into the mix or not. But I think it's got something to do with the little breaks that he had 20 minutes into the games. You know, when things weren't going right, they stopped, had a little water break and everything, and he managed to get in there and have a little chat to him and all that, because it just seems to be like the game seemed to be drifting. When it was drifting last time, he had that little 5-minute thing when he could get into them and they could start again. I don't know, you know, something that I think that hasn't helped Arteta, if I'll be honest. So I'm looking for a positive performance. Do you know what? I'm not going to be in this sort of camp where I'm going to lose it if we lose and go mad like I did against Villa. I think that I'm going to just see how it goes. But what I want to see more than anything is a performance. I want to see us with something to on the game against Villa. It's bad enough losing, but I didn't see anything that I could look as positive from the game or whatever, like, you know. And for me, I just want to see some positives come Sunday. And I think that there will be a reaction after that last game. There has to be. If there's not, then I think that Arteta will be under a few problems. But I'm expecting a positive performance and result. But I want to see us with a different sort of attitude going into games. That's what I want to see.
Okay, so you think he's going handbrakes off? You think he's going to go for it? Do you boys want to go through lineups individually, or do you want to hit me with your lineup right now, Lee?
Well, I've got my lineup. I think that what I would play, or what I feel he's going to play. What you would
play? I want to know what you would do, mate.
Right, obviously Leno in goal. I would then play Ainsley, Maitland-Niles at right back. Left back would be Tierney, David Luiz and Gabriel. Then I'd have Xhaka and Partey if fit. In front of them, I'd have Ceballos. Wide left, Saka. Down the middle, Aubameyang. Pepe right. That's what I'll go with.
Okay, all right. Interesting. Hold that thought. Turkish, chucking this over to you now, bro. What do you think he's going to do? And what would you do? Hit me, man. Tell me.
I think, like Lee said, he has to change it now. You know, I think teams have sussed us out too. Like Lee said, we was good towards the end of last season. It looked like we was good starting the season off with the Liverpool game and the Fulham game. But in reality, I think teams have sussed us out and they know the low block and stifling us it is the way to handle us. You know. The thing about Leeds is it's interesting because they're going to probably go for it as they normally do against whoever they play. That could work in their favour, or it could work completely against Bielsa. I think Arteta needs to, take it to them. We can't be the team on the back foot against Leeds. We've just got smoked at home, and we've got to show a reaction. A lot of our players didn't go on international duty, so a lot of them did remain in and around the team. You know, some did choose to maybe go Dubai and risk it for the next couple of weeks, but that's another issue in itself. You know, that shows a bit of the same old at Arsenal with players. You know, maybe the club and football doesn't come first for a lot of them, and that sort of thing is an indicator of that. You know, so I think against Leeds, that's caused a problem for my lineup too. Because I would have played Willian, I would have played Pepe too. I just would have been a bit more expansive and probably put Willian on the left or attacking mid and vice versa with Saka, moving Ober up top. I think Lee's got the back four bang on. I would have played Ceballos next to Partey, but considering now we don't have Willian, it looks like we don't have him. I'd say Lee's formation is bang on. Lee, you said Ober up top, didn't you?
Yeah, down the middle, 100%.
Yeah, exactly the same for me. And I think he has to. He did last time. You know, last time it looked like things were going pear-shaped after Man City and Brighton. He came out, new formation, new shape, new tactics. He had to do that. He said he has to do what he has to do 3-4 weeks ago before the Liverpool game or after the Liverpool game. He was asked, and I keep on saying this, he was asked about this football that we're playing. And he said then, this was a month ago, he said, I don't want to play like this. Essentially, that's what he said. I don't want to play like this. I have to. And we as fans have to consider that, you know, as much as he comes out and he says, I've been backed and I've been supported. We've heard that before. We've heard that before from a legend, you know. So we turned on him. So we can't now do the same thing with Arteta. Arteta's really nobody to us. Until he becomes somebody, he's a nobody, you know. Yeah. If he's telling us that this is what he has to do, I understand that, because there's an imbalance in the side and it still hasn't been addressed. There's problems in the side that still haven't been addressed. So I think he will change it. I think he has to. But at the same time, it is a big risk. You know, all that good work you've done defensively, organisation-wise, even if you go and have a 4-3 type of game with Leeds and pull the 3 points out the bag, you've conceded a lot of goals in the last couple of games. The mentality of other teams playing against you then changes too. You know, you're no longer the best defense in the league anymore. You're a team leaking goals. Things change, you know, like they've changed in the past year under Arteta for the good, you know, because teams have had to set up a lot more structured against us and a lot better to compete, as we've had to do. And we haven't seen that in a long time consistently, but it's going to have to change again, Lev.
Right, so I mean, just to clarify, you're going the same back four as Lee, or obviously Leno. You're going Partey at the base. You would have gone Ceballos, but what would just clarify the midfield you was going to play again? You gonna go?
I would have gone Partey and Ceballos partnering each other, and then let's say Willian in front of them or Saka in front of them.
I would have liked Saka as well. Yeah.
So one or the other, but Willian's caused the problem there.
Yeah, Willian's caused the problem. Okay, all right, cool. So we seem like we're in agreement at the moment. So Pablo, hit me. Tell me what's the deal. Tell me what you would say. You know, and I don't want to upset you because I want to be on next week. So like, you tell me, bro. What would you do? And what do you think?
I'll send some boys to you, though.
Yeah, I won't be here next week, and yeah.
Do you want to do the super chat first?
Yeah, Aaron Benjamin, Mr. 499 himself. Great show. I agree with Lee. He has to go for it. Thank you, Aaron, and we'll touch on some of the comments after we've run through what you think, Shaheen. So hit me, bro. What do you think?
Look, to be fair, I agree with Lee's team. Because of this Willian thing, the team more or less picks himself. Whether he's gonna play Aubameyang through the middle or Lacazette, that is the really the discussion point, if you like, and who's gonna partner Thomas Partey. I agree with Turkish as well. It's an interesting game because Arteta, he needs to come up with something. He already told us he's not happy. He needs to think. He doesn't like the style. So this is the game where he needs to back up what he said earlier and potentially change a few things. It'll be interesting to see if he's going to play Aubameyang on top or he's going to stick to what he's been doing. And I don't think Leeds now is an easy place to go to. It's going to be a big test for Arsenal, but we've always done well away from home when we're under pressure because he seems to sit back and the kind of counter, and Leeds will come at us. You know, I can see them. You know, if they've seen anything from Villa or Leicester game, they would come and have a go, and I think that might just suit us. I will actually go for an Arsenal win, and I agree with the lineup Lee has said earlier.
Did you sneak in a little prediction there as well? I didn't ask you for a prediction yet, bro. So that's cheeky. Yeah. That's cheeky. Arsenal win. Okay. Look, I'm in agreement with you guys. Ellen Road would have been a very, very tough place with the fans. Let's be honest. Like, I think it would have been, really like a cauldron. But it might be in our favour that it's not got the fans there. They are going to come at us though, so they are going to try and expose us. I think I'm hoping he lets the handbrake off a little bit. I'm in agreement with the back four. I mean, it pretty much sets itself. I would have liked to see Partey with Ceballos and Saka in that 10 type role. And I think Turkish, you've spoken about that before. You would have liked to see that too. We need someone in that position. But you're right, guys. The Willian situation has kind of messed that up. I do want to see Aubameyang down the middle with some wingers either side. But I think that might not happen again. I think he might just go with Pepe on one side, Saka on the other, Aubameyang on the other. Maybe he might go with Nketiah or Lacazette. I hope he doesn't. I want Aubameyang down the middle, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does. But look, let's see what he comes up with on Sunday. It's going to be very, very interesting. Bielsa is a great coach. He does cause a lot of issues for us at the back. I think he's going to cause us a lot of problems, but this is where I want to sort of go with this then, right? Because obviously, as we know, there's been a lot of to in and throw in. What's going on with the Arteta situation right now is literally one game away from a meltdown. We're seeing it continually, right? I feel sorry for the guy. I mean, before we go into that, I'll hold that thought for a second. Give me some of these chats, Shaheen. So, Dark Bear 19, 199. What would make you boys happy come end the season? Well, I'll leave that to you boys first. Lee and Turkish, what would make you happy come end the season?
Winning the Europa League. I don't think we can get in the top four, if I'll be honest. I don't think we're good enough. I don't think we're consistent enough. Unless something happens in January, some little bit of madness in January. But January, let's face it, for a transfer window in January for Arsenal fans is just January. So I don't think that anything will happen there. But yeah, so I'm going to go Europa League. I think if we can win the Europa League, that would be a massive thing for Arsenal. Massive.
Turkish?
Yeah, I think Champions League football, full stop, whether that's top four or Europa League. I tend to agree with Lee on it again. I think it doesn't look like we have enough for top four, so it's going to have to be Europa League, but vice versa, I don't mind. I really don't mind.
So you heard it here, guys. Top four. I mean, Shaheen, I'm guessing the top four Champions League.
We need to be playing Champions League football because of all the finances, because of where we are. We don't have an owner who's going to come and spend from his pocket. So we need the Champions League money to come through in order for us to be able to spend that and also attract the good players to come to us. So I would say also Champions League, whether it's through winning the UEFA Cup or top four, it has to be Champions League.
I'm with you boys on that. I don't care how we do it. Europa, bribing someone, whatever we need to do, let's just get it done. Give me some more chats, please, Shaheen. I don't want to leave everybody out. Do you know what I mean? Ken Ogbodo, you're back again, bro. I love this show. This Uber down the middle is not really the issue. This guy was the top scorer and second from the inside wing. The issue, in my opinion, is our style of play. Ken, he is one of those that thinks that, he scored loads of goals from the left. What's the issue? I tend to think, your best player, your best striker should be playing down the middle. That guy, D, I think you're great, Turkish, but Willian shouldn't play. Okay.
No, I wanted to address that from earlier. I didn't say Willian should play this weekend. I said,
you sure you didn't say that? I swear you said that. Though.
I said ideally, that's my ideal three. But because he done what he done, he can't play because of what he done. It doesn't make sense. He caused that problem. That's why it has to be what Lee said in the middle with Ceballos, Partey, and Xhaka.
These internationals are crazy as it is. You've got a pandemic and all of that, and they're sending our boys abroad and back again. And they're telling us to stay indoors and we can't even walk down the road. So I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, Beast Titan, Lee, sheltering. Lee, sheltering. Who do you think we are going to beat to get to the Europa League finals? We have some decent teams in there now. Are you suggest? I'm not
Yeah,
sure if Beast is suggesting we can't, or is he actually asking that question, Lee?
I think it's going to be really, really tough. But what I'm saying with Arsenal, what I feel at this moment in time, we're a cup team. I don't think we can consistently play well week in, week out, in the league. But in a cup run, as it proved last season in the FA Cup, on our God-given day, we can beat anybody. And I think that is our best chance of getting into the Champions League. I don't think we'll be able to do it in the top 4. I'm saying what I'm saying. You asked the question was what you'd be happy with, and that's what I'll be happy with. I'm not saying that we're going to do it by any stretch of the imagination. I think someone like PSG is going to come down from that, drop down. PSG will buy people in January. Tottenham are going to be very, very strong in that competition, as we all know. And I don't think you should write out Leicester as well. That's without the likes of Milan. So there's some real tough teams in there, but you can't really gauge what the Europa League is going to be like until the teams drop down from the Champions League as well. And then you've got to hope for good draws, and you've got to have a little bit of luck in it. But I still think that's the easier option than getting into the top 4. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
No, that's fair enough, Lee. That's what they asked for, mate. And that's fair enough. And there was one by Why Not Sentiment as well, Shaheen, I think it was. How much of the Champions League budget is not going into the transfer? All right, we'll talk about it another time. Let's get there first. There was a Saliba comment as well. I mean, I've heard rumours that Saliba's been training really well. His English is getting better. And, Arteta's been impressed with him. Is that going to come into play? Shahil Sharma, can Arsenal get Dominic Szoboszlai? I think Turkish can pronounce this better. He's done it a few times. Szoboszlai in January. And should Saliba start? There it is. And should Saliba start in the Premier League now? Turkish, I'll hit you with this because you can pronounce that surname.
I don't know if I can. I say Szoboszlai, but that's what I've been told. So I don't know if that's the right one, but that's what
Szoboszlai is the same guy, bro.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai. I like that. I can say that. Szoboszlai. I can say that. Well done.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what we have to run with. But that sounds about right anyway. But yeah, he looks a very good player. I can't lie to you. He looks a very, very good player. But nah, we're not getting him in January. We don't get players in January unless it's a shit loan signing or or a player that's pushing for a move in reality. Because I think even if you look at Abba, pushing for a move, Arshavin, it was kind of his time to move. He should have moved 6 months ago. I think the only player we bought in January since I've been alive that was really a big name or a big buy was Reyes.
Mate, God rest his soul.
Came in January as well, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was meant to move 6 months before that move. January was more than enough. Like, it was time for him to move on. So I don't think it's likely at all, but that's the sort of things the club need to do for me to change my ways and my thought process. If they went out and did it, happy days. It's a change in mentality. It's an argument against me. That's what I want, because everything falls in line to what I've been saying recently, and it's just going to be the same again unless they do things like that and pull one out the bag.
Listen, everyone's giving me opinions on this pronunciation as well. Some are saying I'm right and whatever. This causing a debate in itself in here. Thanks for that, Turkish, bro. Aaron Benjamin, $4.99 again. Def winning the Europa League. Yeah, cheers, Aaron. I'll go put a tenner on that now. Look, at the end of the day, you asked us what we want. I mean, the Szoboszlai thing, if we get him in January, at least if we did buy him, I'd be a bit more comfortable in the fact that we won't do an Arshavin and buy a number 10 and go and stick him out wide this time around. We've done that plenty of times. I mean, like you mentioned Arshavin, he would probably be the ideal type of player for us right now in that number 10 role, but we bought him and stuck him out wide back then. So, hopefully that's not going to happen. We'll carry on with the chats in a bit. We're moving on to the next subject, boys. It's a bit more contentious, the subject, and it depends on you guys how deep you want to go with this. But obviously, as I was touching on before we looked at the chats, Arteta, 1 game away from a meltdown. We were in heaven 2 weeks prior, or 2 or 3 weeks prior, when we beat United. Everyone was up in it. We're coming for you guys, and it's looking good. Next week we get trounced 3-0 at home to Villa. It's gone crazy in the social media world. We yet again have a divide in the fan base already. My question, and I've been looking at this in detail, and I wanted to ask this because back in the day, as we've mentioned a few times, it was a pub debate, wasn't it? You'd go to the pub, you'd have a chat prior to the game, a couple of hours prior to the game. You maybe disagree with each other, but then at the end, it's kickoff time soon, guys. You leave. You're both in the same camp. You're both in the same fan base, and you both got the same, agenda. You want your team to win, right? Social media has taken this to a new level. Social media is taking it from pub to public. So whatever your thought is, you drop it and everyone knows about it. Now, over time, obviously, and you guys have been fundamental in the rise of the social media side of things. And, I think it's a positive aspect. It gives a lot of fans a voice. But my question to you guys, having looked at the way things are going right now, is where do we draw the line as fans? Where is the line where you don't cross as a fan? Because for me, a supporter is a supporter for a reason. You've picked your team for life. That is your team. You're a supporter through thick and thin, and that's how I've been brought up from the Highbury days and all of that. We had some poor days before the world of social media. I'm sure Lee can vouch for me on this. Sure Turkish can. Not Pablo. Pablo's a bit younger than us, I think. But at the end of the day, it's changed. The dynamics have changed. Now, where do we draw the line as fans in the sense of some people and some accounts and some, of different fan bases, not just ours, different fan bases, they're looking at this as a livelihood now. So where does being a fan get blurred by your own personal wants and needs from something you've decided to pursue, maybe out of sheer chance? As as a YouTuber, as a social media, where do we draw the line of fan? Where is it wrong to go for players and managers and this, and to the extent that we do? Where is it that we draw the line? And I'm going to go with Lee on this first, and your thoughts on it.
Well, I don't think there is a line. If I'll be honest. You know what I mean? If listen, you're a supporter. And this has been going on for years and years and years. You know what I mean? Like, you can like someone or dislike someone. And as you're quite rightly said, you'd be in the pub, no one listens to it. And if you've not got a big enough platform on social media, it doesn't get mentioned. The fact of the matter is that, you have an opinion. And look, listen, people want Arteta out now, and there's people going mad at them and saying to them, like, well, so what? If that's their opinion, I've got no problem with it. Like, you know what I mean? We all like different players, and if we all like the same thing, we'd all support the same team. There's reasons why you support Arsenal. There's reasons why you support them down the road. There's reasons why you support Man United. And the fact of the matter is that, people support different. Like, people like lose when Arsenal lose. Some people can brush it off and have a laugh and a joke down the pub afterwards and things like that. That's been going on for years. It's not me. I'll get the ump, but that doesn't mean to say that he's a bigger or a better supporter than me, or I'm a bigger and better supporter than him. It's how you support your club is how you support your club. But ultimately, when you get into that, the stadium, or you watch it on TV, you give them the best backing you possibly can. Now, the big issue is, and this not be about this. If Arsenal lose, right, people, the fan channels and whatever, are going to get bigger views. That's a fact. That is a fact, because let's put it on the other thing. When Arsenal beat Man United, I don't watch other fan channels. I'll be honest, like, you know what I mean. But they come on your timeline and whatever, and you see like Man United fans having a meltdown and Tottenham fans having you enjoy it. But you used to do that down the pub, like, you know what I mean. When you see one of your mates at Spurs or at school or at work, you give them a bit of stick, and it gets a little bit lively. But what doesn't happen is it don't go over the line, because if it did go over the line, you have fisticuffs. But what happens now is, when you're on a computer, I think you can just go over that line a little bit more, and that's where it comes on, when they start talking to you personally and so, if you're in a pub with your mate and you're talking about, whether you rate Xhaka or you don't, or you like Arteta, and if they start going, you bald old prick or something like that, you're going to go, hold on a minute. But you can seem to be able to do that on social media and on a laptop, and it seems to be acceptable, and that's the difference. But for me, if you've got an opinion about Arsenal, or you've got an opinion about Spurs or whatever, like, I'm not going to fall out with anybody over it and all that. Like, and this Arteta thing, I at this moment in time, when people turn around and want Arteta out for whatever reason, whether they don't like him or he's not experienced or whatever, they've got grounds to do that. It's not like that they're being, they're doing it for clicks or whatever. I get some of the reasons that they're saying, like, you know what I mean? Me and Turkish have always got on. But if I don't agree with something of him, we will talk it out, you know what I mean? Go, I don't agree with you on that, like, it's a bit like, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then it's done. But I'm never gonna get on there and go, you're this or you're that, and he ain't gonna call me a bald this and a bald that, because that's not how it goes. But once you get one of these little computer things here, things change, and that's where it goes over the line. But if you've got you are an Arsenal supporter or an ever supporter, you've got the right to support that team any way you want. If you want to pay your money and go in there and slag them off for 90 minutes, then feel free to do it. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, if that's your beef or whatever, it ain't my way of doing it. I tend to, for the 90 minutes, cheer them on and the two of that. As soon as the game's finished, what's a bunch of rubbish, whatever. You know what I mean? But for the 90 minutes, I'll back them. Listen, guys, there's people that walk into the ground 10 minutes before the game, 10 minutes after the game started, and walk off 10 minutes before the game started. I have a fella sits next to me who leaves 10 minutes every single game, and we have banter about it. I don't slag him off about it. It's just banter, like, you know what I mean? I say, you've got to get home for the missus, like, you know, you've got to cook a dinner, and all things like that. It's banter, and I think that's fair enough. But don't go overboard, lads. This is what I say.
Thank you, Lee. I tend to agree with you on that. I think everyone's got a right. I draw the line at fans having to go at each other. But you're right. I agree with you on that. Turkish, what's your thoughts on it, bro?
I agree with everything Lee said yet again. I think something to add is that with our fan base in particular, it's just like Lee said, we've been through this for so long now. Things have happened that I think have caused blocks in the fan base, you know, and those blocks are most evident on social media and online. So I think it does hold us back now, you know. My first look at, because obviously fan channels and fan opinions came into place, about 7-8 years ago. You know, I only started going on AFTV 2-3 years ago. So I was an observer before, and my opinion of it was it's good, because these big brands, these big companies and owners tried to take the clubs away from fans. You know, we was a lot closer to the club as fans in the 90s and the early 2000s. You know, I think everyone can vouch for that. We felt a lot more like it was a community, like we was all a team, you know. And Lev, you did mention that we was poor at times back in the 90s too. But it didn't really matter much because of what it felt like. We was together in this. Now we're not together in this. That's a big difference. We're not together and we fight with each other, you know.
Yeah.
And the root cause of it all, and it's hard for people to do this when emotions are involved, to take a step back and see the root cause of the issue. And the root cause, again, you know who I think is the root cause of it, and it is him again with the divided fan base. Because
hold that Turkish, because I'm going to come to you on that, bro. That's the next thing we're going to discuss. So if you're going where I think you're going with this, hold on to that, because I don't want you to waste all your ammo, bro. But I agree with you again entirely with this. Yeah, my problem is not other YouTube accounts, other this, other that. I don't care. Everyone has a right. I'm doing it. You know, we do it for, you know, it's a replacement for the pub, for example. It's a bit of a hobby. Other people do it a bit more seriously. Whatever it is, I really don't care. My only issue is the divide, the way that we bicker and fight with each other. And it has had a long-term effect, in my opinion, based on what you was going to just go into, Turkish. So we'll touch on that in a minute, bro, if you don't mind. If you're okay with that, that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Shaheen. Sorry, Turkish, you got any more to say, bro?
No. I'll wait for that. You know,
wait for that, bro, because I'm going with a link here, yeah? So just go with the ride for a little.
Ride the wave.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Shaheen, you've heard what we're talking about. What's your point?
First of all, I want to just say thank you, everybody, for watching. Can you please hit the like button? Because there's quite a few number of people watching this likes up. My view is a little bit different, and I did a tweet out a couple of days ago about this. I think most of the negativity and most of the negativity is manufactured. And what I mean by this is this. most of this comes from channels who do this for living. So if you've got a YouTube channel and you depend on that, right? You need to stay relevant. So because you got guys doing 2-3 shows a day. Then you see that on social media they try to pick a fight with another big account, so then they can create a bit of drama. And social media loves a bit of drama, 2 people having a go at each other, this and that. And I think because they need to do this to generate money to live, right? So there is so much you can talk about that is like I see so many channels doing Arsenal talk every day. Like, how much can you talk about Arsenal on the international break? What's the next thing they do? There is a stage debates that people come on and have a go on social media. I saw even Lee was trying to be dragged into an argument earlier this week on social media, and I think we had some text with each other about that. And that does not help us as a fan base, because there are people in here that they have to create this drama. They have to create this negative vibe in order to generate awareness, views, so they can. I don't see Turkish doing shows every day. I don't see Lee Judge's same old Arsenal doing shows every day, because they don't depend on YouTube channel. They've got a life they get on. If you depend on YouTube channel, you will generate what you need to generate in order to get views and monies and this and that. There are channels out there, Arsenal related, saying Arteta is not good enough for Arsenal because we want Arsenal to compete, we want Arsenal to this, we're used to Arsenal being da-da-da-da-da. Next thing you know, my man does a watch along for Tottenham Southampton. Then you got to question, if you're an Arsenal channel, why every game that does that is not Arsenal related, you're doing a watch along? Why? Because you need to generate views, you need to generate income. And these are the channels, if you look particular, that most of this negativity and the debates and Arteta in, Arteta out is coming out of. Now, I have no problem with people doing YouTube thing and they live on that and it's fine. But please find more positive things to discuss rather than just coming out with negativity to get views and things like that. And that's all I'm going to say on that. We don't, I mean, look, we don't have this membership thing here. The channels that you have to be members pay, I don't know, 2, 3, 4.
But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. But what you're saying,
because that goes back to them depending on this money coming in. So they need to do more shows, more subject, more controversy in order to gain views, monies, this, that, the other. That's my view on it.
So your opinion is that because of that, some people's opinions are a little bit, shall we say, biased or negative for a reason to draw attention.
If you've got a channel that you need to make money from it, right? You will do what you think is going to get you views every day, whether it's Arteta out or whether it's kroenkeout or whatever it is that you think is going to get you views. Now, there are people who like myself, I've questioned Arteta before, I've had negative views about Arteta before. And that's why I know Turkish is quite against Kroenke's, and then I'm with him on that. But I don't do shows every day ranting and raving and screaming.
Yeah, but hold on. Can I flip this back at you then, right? Let me just flip this back at you, yeah? Is it their fault? Or is it the fact that, in a way, Arsenal have kind of brought this on themselves over the last 10 years or so? Because what is there really to have been positive about? It's like my argument with regards to people having to go at AFTV and people like that, right? Hold on. If AFTV had started at the peak of Wenger's career and they were winning everything and they were beaming it every week, we'd all be lapping that up and going, oh my God, I can't wait for AFTV to come on, blah, blah, blah. But because we were doing quite poorly at the time when AFTV started, for example, what else could they say? What else could fans say when they come out the ground? So throwing it back at you, is it these channels doing that, or is it Arsenal's fault in the sense of the direction it's gone on because of what they've given the fans over the last 10, 15 years?
Look, I agree with you. The club possibly is the main cause of the divide, right? Okay. But us as fans, right, we don't really help the situation by coming together and having a voice, a unite voice per se. You've got different corners, people having this. My views might be a bit controversial. I see a lot of people on the comments that.
Yeah, let's hit up some of these. I want to see some of these. Get them up. Right. I want to see some of these. I can have a bit of fun with these. That guy, Raheem, you couldn't make enough. Well, I think he's trying to say Shaheen. Yeah, the Shaheen. You couldn't make enough from views because you haven't got the personality or banter as most other Arsenal players. Ooh, that's a bit harsh.
Mate, if you're going to say something, I just get my name right.
That guy D, that's a bit. Raheem, please.
Another one. Probably same person with two different accounts.
Raheem, stop waffling. Remember, everyone has an opinion. I don't have to scream Arteta out. Yeah, keep them coming. I love this stuff. I want some more on Raheem. Who is Raheem anyway? Another radio example is Chris Moyes. Controversial, not negative. I loved it. Kiss 100, Bam Bam, and Street Boy classic wind up 90s radio show. Yeah, cool. Beast Titan, Talk Sport is toxic, but it's a good laugh. Yeah, all right. If Arsenal do not get Champions League this season, would you like want Arteta out? Quickly, you two guys, the guys that matter.
I think touching on what you were saying just now, of course, there's a difference if someone's making a living off it or if someone's doing it for a passion or in their spare time. There's definitely a difference in how someone would approach it. But I think there's various sections of this fan base, and I think the biggest problem we have in this fan base is the people that act like we don't have any problems. I can debate someone that does think we have problems, but we disagree what those problems are. But I can't debate someone that doesn't act like we don't have any problems. I just can't do it. And that's why I'm not really on Twitter as much, because I just feel like there's a lot of people on there and groups on there that are way too positive for no reason. Whereas the negativity at times, or the realness, whoever wants to class it as whatever, is closer to reality and has been for the past decade than positivity has. And that comes from the club. As much as we need to be positive and optimistic, how we feel comes from the club, And I do understand, but I just feel like, in my opinion, there is problems in the fan base, but the section I would put first is the, let's say, positivity merchants that ignore everything that's happening at the club and still happening at the club and act like we are going places when in reality we are not. That's my biggest.
Listen, Turkish, I agree with you 100%. Listen, please don't misunderstand me. Everybody is entitled to a view, whether it's Arteta in, Arteta out, Kroenke in. You're entitled to your view. My point is, if you got a view, don't go all ranting and raving and all of these things just to get your view across. You can also get it out in a nicer way. And we as fans need to come together first. We need to sort all of these out between ourselves first. Then we can possibly start affecting somebody like Kroenke and move on from there. Flo, I'm good. It's good to have you on board, mate.
Can I say another thing quickly?
Go on, Turkish. Go on,
and you know what's funny, Shaheen? And it's sad, and it is sad. It's funny, but it's sad, because me and you agree on what's happening at the club, right?
Come again?
Me and you agree on what's happening at the club, the problems, and I think Lee agrees as well. Lev agrees, but if I put it across in rants, and I come out ranting and raving, it's going to get a lot more exposure, and that's what's sad,
Exactly.
And that's the cycle that we're
it's the cycle, and it's a big problem. I thought removing the shield that Wenger I thought the fan base would start to unite a bit. That hasn't left us yet. That bad taste in a lot of fans' mouths hasn't left us yet. And as much as the cracks have opened up, above, the cracks in the fan base have even opened up even further, so I'm coming to a point where I don't know what to say or do anymore, to help or try to help.
Well, guys, listen, that's a perfect.
Can I just say a couple of things?
Can I just say a couple, of course you can, mate. Go for it, Lee. Go for it, Lee. Go for it.
The thing is, right, with all what's gone on I've seen it from when I watched AFTV before I went on it, and enjoyed what we're seeing and everything like that. I've seen it and I've seen the actual channel, like with Turkish, explode into this massive thing, right? And what the problem is that a lot of people are jealous about people making money, whether it be one channel or they've got their own personal YouTube or another thing. Like people don't like the fact that people are making money. Now, people have been making money out of Arsenal since Arsenal began, whether it be selling burgers, selling beers, selling whatever, programs or whatever. Money has been made. The scarf man makes money or whatever. Everybody has made money. So what's happened along the way is now another form of it has happened. But what the way that the form has been made of it is to do with what I'm saying is say for AFTV, for instance, it got massive because of Arsenal's failures. So when you're buying a burger or you're buying something like from the scarves or whatever, the better Arsenal done, the better the burger stall man would do, because more fans were coming to the game, more people would go to the game. So it was in their best interest that Arsenal were doing well. If Arsenal weren't doing well, attendances had dropped, they wouldn't sell as many burgers. But it's on the flip side, on the other side, where if Arsenal were doing well, AFTV and the channels are still going to make money, but they're not going to make the money that they're making if Arsenal lose. So Arsenal lose to Aston Villa, right? Views go tenfold. They go from 200,000, like they go to 250,000 plus. If we'd have beaten Aston Villa, you get 100,000. So you'd still be making your money, but not creaming it, if you know what I mean. And that is the problem. Now, people can go and run and rave and shout and scream and all that, like, you know, and you don't have to listen to it, boys. You know what I mean? If you don't want to watch the shows, don't listen to them and whatever, like, you know what I mean? If you don't like AFTV, don't watch it. And the other side of it is people come in here and they think to yourself, right, if, for instance, and I'm not blowing my own thing up here, I'm just saying my point of view. If I
that's what you're here for,
gone on AFT for the first time, no, but if I'd have gone on AFT for the first time and gone, well, yeah, I don't think Arsene Wenger is great. I don't think this is whatever and whatever. No, I would have got about 3,000 views. It wouldn't have gone under the radar. The reason it went viral is because I went mad. Now, I wasn't putting that on. That was just the passion of it was at that time. Now, what you've got then is the passion of it, like, you know, and that's the way I am. People will tell you that, like, you know, but then you'll get people going on there and faking it. People going on there and doing different things. They think, oh, I've got to do something that's going to make me stand out from the crowd. So it might be like, I'm not criticizing people.
I don't know. Does that actually happen?
Of course it does. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, you know, someone throws a season ticket. So I'm not whatever, you know, like.
Oh yeah, then you see him there next week. Yeah, then you see him there the next week.
So what I'm saying is, like, he's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong, but he throws his season ticket away. Like it all goes mad, right? Then the next week he's back in there, and people are going. The fans are going, oh look, he's thrown his season ticket away. But he's got his thing now where he's in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a little bit of a thing, and people will go into that. You know. Other people, like, you know, I didn't know Turkish until I see him on AFTV. But from my point of view, I watched him and I thought, yeah, he speaks sense. He knows what he's talking about. He's a good guy. You know what I mean? But people might look at him and don't take offence by this Turkish. They might turn around and go, well, he's got a big bushy beard. He's got an appearance that something else hasn't seen. And people will home in on that. You know what I mean? And that is what you do. Like, Troops is what he come and done. He went and done that. And that got him a leash of it, like, you know. And then what you've got is, whether you agree with it or not, and I certainly don't agree with it. If Arsenal lose, you get Kelechi coming on with his mic doing all his I know what I want to do with that fucking mic every time we've lost a game. I want to stick it up his arse. You know what I mean? Like, but he's singing and dancing, doing all this stuff. Yeah, well, I've told him that. I don't like that. I don't like seeing all that, like, you know what I mean? Arsenal singing and dancing when you're losing. But that's his, if that's his thing, and that's it. But people will, you know, but that's his standout thing now, then that makes him relevant. And that is the thing people have to make, you know, listen, I've seen a few things in about Lee Gunner. Whatever you think about Lee, like, some of his points, I think are quite bang on. I think to myself, well, Yeah, I could have put it a little bit better, but he's right about what he's saying. But
it might be the delivery. But
but at the end of the day, if he's making money and he's earning the show out of it and whatever, well, good luck to him. I don't see what people are thing on it. You know, I mean, if you don't like the guy, just turn him off. Like DT is probably one of the, he's the most popular person on AFTV. I wouldn't say popular, but he's the most watched. There's a lot of people that don't like him and whatever. But whatever you think about him, whatever you do, people like to watch him. Now, whether you like that or not, that's your beat. That's your prerogative. If you don't want to watch him, don't watch him. But there are thousands and thousands of people that watch him. Sometimes I look at him, you know what I mean, and we get on all right and all that. I scratch me and go, I can't see why people want to see what he's saying. But at the end of the day, he's got it, and good luck to him. And I don't look at him and think jealousy or whatever. And I think there is that in there, you know what I mean? Listen, guys, I don't care what anybody says. If I set up a channel, right, and it gets me to go to every single Arsenal game and I'm earning money out of it, it's my job. What Arsenal fan is not going to want that? I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Like that. That's how.
No.
I look at it.
Lee, I totally agree with you. I personally don't have an issue with other accounts doing what they're doing or whatever their reason it is they're doing. My problem is a bit more than that, which I'll go into in a minute. Next week's show, by the way. Wait, Shaheen. Next week's show, watch Lee try to hide Kalichi's mic. Kalichi's going to be on live.
Yeah. No, I just want to clarify something. I don't have a problem with other people and other channels doing, you know, whatever. I don't. And what I said is not aimed at a specific person or a specific channel. Maybe I didn't explain that. What I meant is every day coming out ranting and raving Arteta every day. You know, I'll come on here ranting and raving sometimes after a loss, but I don't go and do it every day and just press on it. So that's the point I was here. But I don't have a problem with anybody. Everybody's entitled. I hope every Arsenal podcast gets bigger because it gets probably more exposure for the club and maybe a bigger voice towards the Kroenkeout out.
Yeah, I think to anyone that does have problems with sections of the fan base or opinions, I think just mute them. Don't use the platform that you see that on. I'm gonna be honest, and I've always said it. When I got home from games, when I watch games now, the only interview on AFTV I watch is Lee Judges. Aside from that, even on YouTube, I don't watch much. I watch music videos and documentaries. I don't really watch podcasts, and I don't, you know, because I talk about it enough, and I feel like if I don't want to see too much of something, I'll just avoid it. You know, I just feel like I'll take myself out of that. Hence why on Twitter, for example, I avoid it. You know, I've got followers on there. I wish I could do more, but I don't like what comes out of that platform. So I just pull myself out of it. And I'm a happier man for it, I think, because aside from how much Arsenal depressed me in my normal life, you know, you lot have met me, Lee's met me a hell of a lot of times. I'm a happy individual. I'm content in life, you know, but it's only when we talk about Arsenal that it gets, you know.
Boy. Listen, Turkish, you gave me a perfect link onto my next subject. Before we do it, quickly, the fan base is divided even in the chats on this subject. This is why I wanted to bring this up. It wasn't for a specific reason. It was more so to see where the fans lie with this and where we lie with this. You know, we've all got different opinions. Aaron Benjamin's come in with a super chat. Everyone has opinions, and Lee is right. He is my fave, pure passion. Thanks, Aaron. Cheers for that, mate. Don't worry about us.
Can I just say something? Obviously, thanks everybody watching. Please hit the like button. Go subscribe to Turkish's channel on YouTube, Turkish LDN. That is written there.
Yeah.
You always say it on the comment. You know, there was one guy who said he is militant. He's not. Trust me, he's not. and you know, go watch his shows. His good shows.
To the wrong person, I can be. Trust me.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that side. Thank you. Yeah. So, sorry, Lev. Carry on.
Yeah, sorry. So I just want to quickly run through what others were saying about this, and then I want to move on to that next point. You know, because it seems like a lot of people were sort of going on about this the debate with regards to the YouTube channels and the fan base. Troop acts like a 10-year-old kid having a tantrum for views. That acting like 10-year-old kid has got him a 3-year deal in America, and he's bettered his life, and I hope and wish him well, and he's doing better for his family. So I've got no issues with that, and I don't think he was tantrums. Turkish is a top man. This is Pramod N, top man. I met him at Emirates and we had a good chat about Arsenal and football in general. That's from Pramod. I'm sure you remember that, Turkish.
I remember. Listen, I always show respect to people that are respectful. You know,
Turkish remembers all his fans, man. We know that.
It's fellow fans of the club. That's all I am. That's all I see Lee Judges at. We're the fans of the club.
We're all the same, bro. I agree.
Characters, we're not celebrities. We're nothing. We've got a few followers, and that's it.
This guy sounds menacing. Crook. If he sings in a higher pitch, we'll know where the mic is. I think he's referring to Lee's comment. I'll leave that one there. Maybe we'll turn him into a BG. I think AFTV were wrong the way they got rid of Claude. Robbie screwed the pooch. Listen, that's their business. You know, at the end of the day, I kind of see both sides. It's not a subject I really want to get involved in. Mike, Oriodon, or Beast Titan, why can't Arsenal be ruthless? Well, look, I'm gonna push on, right? Because Turkish, you hit on a massive point when we were debating this, and this is why I wanted to go through this debate to get to this point, right? I don't care about the fan base in what they do and how they voice their opinions, much like Lee said. You know, we all got our own ways of doing things. Some of us sulk for a couple of days and don't speak to someone. Other one come on social media. Other one scream and shout. We've all got our own ways of doing things. My issue is more so the way we are as a fan base divided towards each other, where you have one YouTube channel against another YouTube channel or other fans calling each other names on Twitter and all that. We're divided. And whilst we were divided over this last 10, 15 years, we've missed a crucial element to our downfall, which is what's going on further up the table, right? So whilst we're sitting there divided and bickering and people waiting outside of Everton to have a go at Robbie at AFTV or calling this person that or this person this, I personally believe we lost focus on what was really important, which was what was going on in the club. And whilst we were divided, they got away with murder for 5, 10, 15 years, right? So now we fast forward to this point. We're now doing the same thing. We're shouting at Arteta, who's inherited a 10-year issue, and we're expecting him to sort it out in 10 months. Has what the club's done created this divide? Is it, like you said, our fault for taking our eye off the ball with this divide? Have the club sold its soul in the sense, and it's happening elsewhere in the Premier League, where they used to rely solely on the fans for their income? That's slowly changing. They're getting money from outside. They're getting money from TV deals from China. They're getting money from marketing here, there, and everywhere. Have they started to look at as fans as expendable? And is that what's caused the issue? And should we as fans be looking at becoming united and airing our opinions together at where the real issue lies? And I'm going to give this to Turkish first because I know this is a subject that he's been sort of chomping to get into.
We've been avoiding the real issue for a long time, and they did create it. I don't think they intended to create it, but they. Can we swear on this show,
bro? Go for it, man.
They fucked us.
I want passion, Turkish. I want passion.
They fucked us. The passion is not. You know, the passion is. It comes out sometimes, but it's not there like it used to be. You know, it's rare for me to really lose myself now because I know what's coming. You know, but
you're in the lounge, bro. To go for it, man.
They fucked us, and they fucked us using Wenger as the shield, you know, and that is what caused the division. There's a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, minds because of it, and that caused the division, and it's been broken ever since. That division started maybe 4 years before Wenger actually did leave, maybe 3 years before. So essentially, that division's been going on for maybe 5, 6 years now. That's a long time for the fans to be divided. You know, so yes, they did create the division. I don't think it was their intention, but I don't see what else could have happened in that situation. You know, as much as people turn around now and say, it wasn't so bad on the Wenger. Now, was it? Yes, it was. I don't forget what was going on. I don't forget that we dropped out of top 4 under Wenger. It's not like we abandoned him in the top 4. We lost it with him. We was out of it 2 years in a row with him. So in reality, I don't regret that. And it did open up all of these cracks, but the division in the fan base doesn't allow for us to get together. And we talked about AFTV, and because I've been on AFTV, and because I guess I'm on here because of AFTV, I've got my own channel because of AFTV, because people listen to me. Yeah, that's my platform to give my opinion, but everyone has theirs as well. you know. And as much as I might talk on YouTube, someone else talks on Twitter. And there's no unity there. There's not this one group. Like when it was the 90s and the 2000s, you had at least the Arsenal Supporters Trust, who was the voice, you know. And maybe in the annual meetings, you'll get that voice. You'll get the right questions asked. There wasn't social media then, but there was that annual meeting where the report come out and you could read what was asked, what was said. You get an insight into it, you know. We don't have that no more because we've got too many that are not connected, you know. They have to connect, but they won't because of little conflicts and little disagreements and little problems, like this person wants to profit off this, or this person wants to do this, or that person came off of this. So yes, the fan base is divided, and it is because of the board and ownership. And in my opinion, there is no way around until a new owner comes in place. How do we change this around without a new owner? How does the fans get together? Because under this owner, we are not going to win a title. We are not going to win the Premier League under this owner. And that's me thinking about 5 years from now. I know it's not even realistic to think, but we're not going to do it. People should get that out of their heads. Under this owner, we're not going to win the league. He hasn't got the ambition for it. So whether you're kroenkeout now or not, you're going to be in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. You're going to be eventually. But haven't we given them enough time? How can we be divided 15 years into this mess? Maybe go. 5, 6, 7 years in, but 15 years in, we're arguing with each other.
And then we're expecting a man to deal with it in 10 months. We're expecting to sort it out in 10 months.
Backgrounds, the way people talk, the way people present themselves, the way people say this, the way people make money off that. That's caused the problems in the fan base now, that we don't have a reality of what we need to do to fix the problem. Or try to, at least, because we don't try. We just bicker amongst ourselves.
And that's where my problem lies with the fan base. I don't care what anyone else wants to do, what their things are. And a lot of these people that coat off AFTV and other channels, they don't realise that if it wasn't for the likes of AFTV maybe opening that path for them, they wouldn't be doing it themselves now. So I don't understand the mentality. We should be focusing where it matters. Lee, you've heard what's been going on. You've heard what Turkish has had to say. You hear where we're going with this. And, what's your thoughts on it? And what's the solution, in your opinion, with the more sort of deep-rooted issues?
Yeah, listen, Turkish, what he says, I couldn't agree more. It's fascinating to listen to when these sort of debates, because what you've got is that people are also scared to come out and go against, protest and whatever, because of what can come in there, because you'll get a lot of stick going your way and whatever, what I mean? I feel that from my point of view, I feel that the club take the piss. They take the piss out of me, right? But there's nothing I can do about it, because I love the club and it's what you do. So they bring out a nice new top and you think, oh, I've got to get it. I don't want to get it, but I've got to get it.
You always say you're not going to buy it as well. I'm not buying it this year.
I'm not buying it, yeah, but then you go in the shop, you see, I've got to have that, or someone buys you it for Christmas, so you ain't going to turn around and say, I don't fucking want that because of whatever. You know what I mean? So they get you. But ultimately, I swear to you now, how many times have you walked out of whether it be Highbury or the Emirates, and that's it, I ain't fucking coming back no more. That's the last time they get my money. And the next week you're back there. So they've got you. And the fact of the matter is, whatever way you look at it, in this fan base, you're going to have people like Turkish, you're going to have people like me, you're going to have people that are quite happy to go with the flow, others that are not. And it's very, very difficult to just that the whole fan base is in one. But I'll tell you this now, guys, you look at Liverpool. Whatever you think about Liverpool and whatever, they had that thing where they had the ticket pricing, which we've been, by the way, paying a lot more than what they were. I think it was £70 for a ticket there. They all rebelled, all walked out of the ground, they all done it and all that, and because of that, things got changed. So, but they're a different culture to our fans. They come from a different area where it's like, let's get this right. Liverpool. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong in that. It's a two club city. If you want to, it's a free if you want to count in Tranmere. But it basically is Everton and Liverpool. you either support Everton or you support Liverpool. Down here, you've got like different people and different fans and whatever. You go in, there's a lot of fans that go to Arsenal that don't care whether Arsenal win or lose. It's a business trip or it's a visiting thing or whatever, tourist attraction and thing like that. So you've got all of that, you know what I mean? So they're not bothered like me and us guys on here are passionate about it. You know, there's people that will go to the Emirates, watch the game, see Arsenal lose and go out that night and have a good time. I'm not saying that's right, I'm not saying that's wrong, but that's the way it is. Arsenal have always been a little bit like that. They're not got that, you know, thing like where it's the be end and end all in life, like it is in Newcastle, like it is in Liverpool. It's that's what it is, like, you know, and we've got this fan base and it is what it is. And, you know, when, you know, you want to, the Wenger things and all that, certainly right. You know, for instance, if you turn around now and said, right, the fans are all back in, let's get Kroenke out, like, you will get a lot of fans saying, well, hold on a minute, he's doing a good job, he spent money here, he spent this and spent that. You're never ever going to get the whole lot together to say, right, this is it, you know, and that is it, you know what I mean? If there was all as passionate as we are, then it would happen, and I'm telling you that they know that, the owners, they know that, you know what I mean? They don't care about what we feel about really at the end of the day, because if they do, you know, we're all going through a pandemic. Everybody's struggling at the moment. They've bought out 16 training tops. I've got 14 of them, by the way. But anyway, that's another thing. You know what I mean? But like what I'm saying is that they will keep pumping because they know that they've got you. They've got you. You know
what, Lee?
You know what I mean?
I liken it to a really bad ex-girlfriend that you can't stop going back to. A woman that you know is no good for you. You dump her. You swear blind you're not going back there next week. I'm done with her. And then as the week goes by and it's getting closer to that weekend, you start to think, oh, do you know what? She's all right, really. Like she'll be better this time around. Yeah. And guess what happens? The same thing happens to us. Yeah, and you hit massive points for me, and you know, you gave examples like Liverpool and other fan bases, like I could ask like Newcastle and places like that. These fans are united, and I just wish that we use the power that we've gained as a fan base with these accounts and this and that to come together and do something united. And that's where I think we should go. Shaheen, I'm gonna throw this at you, bro. I'm just gonna have Aaron Benjamin with another 499er. We will only get Kroenke out when we become a unified fan base, 100%. And Shaheen, 100%. I'm going to chuck this at you, bro. I'm going to chuck this at you, and then we'll go through some of the chats. You've heard what the guys have to say.
Look, I can't really look. First of all, you mentioned the point. I think we sold our soul when we left Highbury. So, in terms of where you say if we lost our soul, yes, we lost it when we left Highbury. The boys are right. You know, I've said this many times on a podcast with Turkish or a different podcast, that the Kroenkes or the board, they give us reason to be divided. And some people thrive on it. They don't make the right signings. They come out with things just before the season tickets are due for renewal. We were getting linked with all the big names, you know, in the transfer market, and then nothing really materializes towards the end. January as well, we can only do loans, no money. So the question comes, where is the money? Where is it gone? Why are we not spending it? Why are we not competing? So all of these things, it gives us reason to be divided. And yes, we will never be able to get rid of the Kroenke, which is the root. And look, in any business, the buck ultimately stops with an owner. You know, staff, managers, they come, they go. Players come, go. People like Willian, they come, they go. And he just showed that he doesn't really, you know, whatever, you know, I've just my 3 years last contract. I don't really need to probably, you know, stick to the rules as before. And it's the owner who stays constantly, and he's the one that needs to sort out the club. And in our case, unfortunately, we've got somebody who doesn't really care, happy with whatever is happening now, as long as the books are balanced to a certain extent, which are not right now, but before. No passion, no desire, no ambition, and he's just coming along as it is. And until we become a united fan base like in Newcastle, as you said, or others, we can never hurt them in a way to leave. And Lee was right earlier. Arsenal is a massive brand and a massive football club. If I turn around and say, like, I'm not going to go to the club anymore. If Turkish says, you know what, I'm going to protest, I'm not going to go. Lee says, I'm not. There will be somebody else who will buy the ticket. If you go to central London, there are so many. I know for a fact that in a lot of European countries, they sell tickets, Arsenal tickets, as part of a package. So you come here on a Friday, you've got the ticket, you've got the hotel, it's a day out in London, you go to the game, you go back on Sunday. One of my relatives lives in Sweden, and that's the kind of thing is offered over there. So if we don't go, somebody else will go. You know, the whole idea of, let's boycott the club, it will never work. You know, and at Highbury, I don't know, it was because it was a smaller stadium, so you could say possibly maybe a more core of fans that used to go to Highbury, so it felt a little bit more like home, and people were there. They had a bit more about them. But Emirates is just a corporate stadium. You know, the boxes, as Lee said, a lot of people don't go to boxes to watch the game. They go to close a deal, entertain a client. There's no passion there. They don't get upset when Arsenal lose. Yeah, did you enjoy the game? It was nice. Okay, come, let's go have a glass of champagne downstairs, and then that's it. Off we go. So, yes, we need to come together as a fan base. We can have different opinion about Arteta and different people. That is fine. But we need to come together in order to achieve a bigger goal or target of getting rid of the owner. That's my view on it.
Okay, well, boys, I mean, we've been going on. Time's gone really quickly. I want to go through some of these chats very quickly. I don't want to keep Lee and Turkish away from their families for much longer. Aslan Khan, # weak haired to you is an absolute joke. Ooh. Albert JTV. Yes, Albert, I saw you on, I think it was Monday with a gal. Nice to see you, bro. Thanks for supporting. The fan base will never totally unite, but it should be way better than it has been for the last 5-10 years, especially the last 5 years. I agree with you on that. Big respect by Jonathan T. Big respect for everybody on the show. And regarding Arsenal, I'm not Arteta in or out because I know the real problem and it's the Kroenkes, but too many fans scapegoat it. But yep. Arnaby Arnab Kroenke is the issue. It seems like a lot of people are saying the same thing here. So look, guys, I mean, you've heard it here. We look to approach these situations for a reason. We want interesting content. We want interesting debates. We are one base. We're fans. If you want to come on and debate with us, whoever you are, or you want to talk about a subject, feel free. All I'm asking us to be is respectful and let's focus where the real problem is. You've heard it from, real talk. That's what this show's called. You've heard it from Turkish. You've heard it from Lee and us as well. Focus when it really matters. I'm going to throw this at all of us very quickly before we leave. The Arteta situation. Obviously, a lot of people were saying Arteta out already. I personally think it's ludicrous to ask a man to take over from 10 years issues or 10, 15 years issues and ask him to solve it in 10 months and then ask for him to get out the minute it goes wrong. Turkish, your opinion, Arteta in, out, how long do you give him?
I'm not even entertaining it yet. I can't even answer it. It's not in my mind.
Good man. Lee?
Yeah, I'm same with Turkish here. Let's just hope that if Arsenal lose their next 3 games, you'd be under immense pressure. I have to say that, So let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope we get some result against Leeds, and then if we win our next 3 games, all things will be all different. But I think to win all those 3 games, he has to change a little bit, and I think that he will. I personally think that he will. I'll be very, very surprised if he don't.
Tough games, Lee. Tough games. Shaheen?
Tough games.
Agree with the guys. I think Arteta needs to be given help rather than being booted out. I think maybe a couple of experienced coaches need to be added to the staff. And it's way too early. And with Turkish, there's not even a debate there. And you know what? If a big if and when the time comes, I have no confidence in the board to get rid of him properly and bring somebody else who's going to take us. So for now, there is not even a discussion there.
Okay. Well, guys, you've heard it here. Fan base, unite. If you want to do something about the club, focus on the right areas. Get behind your team, get behind your managers. Remember what it is to be a supporter first and foremost. So, guys, this has been real talk. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's flown by again. Turkish, man, you've always hitting the nail on the head, always saying it how it is, bro. Still my Turkish delight, despite your harsh words at times. Thank you for coming on, brother.
No worries, man. No worries. I just offer my opinion, man. You know.
Yeah, that's what you're here for, bro. That's what we want.
Subscribe to Turkish's channel as well. Turkish of the Year. Good stuff there.
100%. And Lee, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. And I'm glad that the taps held out today, mate.
Yeah, they're all right. Everything's okay, like, you know. So I'm in good place. Not flooded.
Thank you for coming on, bro. And again, brilliant. Ben Davies, I have seen you, mate. And fuck off you Spurs, by the way. But thanks for watching. And Shaheen, anything you want to add before we go?
Just thank you very much. I got a lot of abuse today from a lot of people, but that's all right. I'll still love you guys.
It's all right.
If you're still watching, message me on Twitter, and then I'll respond to what you're saying as well. But thanks, guys, for the love, for watching. This show is becoming a really established show. A lot of people again watched today. Last week, 9,000 people watched it. Thank you very much for joining, watching us. We really appreciate you guys are coming. Subscribe to our channel. And then, again, as you know, every Wednesday, we're here, and then we've got other shows as well. We're just glad to have you with us in this ride.
Yeah, well, I think we've got a gal doing a show on Friday, I believe. Is that right? Yeah,
that's right. It's a Friday fan cam where fans get to come on. So we send you the link. You come on the show. You have your say, and then we'll discuss the issues. And last week we had the African Gunner, Albert JTV, Kesh, and another guy, which I forgot his name. So it was a really good show as well. But just thank you guys for watching, and thanks for your support.
So this has been the Arsenal Lounge. This is Real Talk. Join us again next Wednesday. Keep supporting us, guys, and stay blessed. Shaheen, you know what to do next, brother.